Amari, in the first half, you were one of 4 players on this offense with more than 50 receiving yards. You, Gallup, CD, Dalton. What is that? Is that a testament to anything when you guys are going like that?
Yeah, I think it was us um, being on the ball. We were running our fastball, and they were really tired. Just 2 weeks ago when we played them, one of the D linemen on their team, he was just like, "Man, y'all slow this thing down." That's what he told me. So I think it really affected them, and I noticed when we got into our fastball, we were moving the ball much more effectively, and I think that contributed to all of us being over. You said 50 yards, right? Yeah, I think that contributed to that.
Tempo, was that something that part of the game plan you guys said to yourself, we're going to get after them?
Um, nah, I think when we did it the first time, it was so effective that we just kept doing it.
You called for the ball earlier this week, and you got the first pass from Dak. You think that was on purpose, or?
Nah, it wasn't really on purpose. Um, I think Dak and I both knew, because me and MG had the same route on the play. Dak and I both knew that 29 would jump the Oscar. That's what the route was, and so he was just going to throw away from him on that play, and I just so happened to be on the other side.
Did it feel like y'all had a different rhythm tonight than you'd had the last few weeks? I know you talked about how you'd still been productive through those weeks, but what was clicking tonight?
I think it was on offense. I definitely think it was the fastball. We practiced it so much, and I think finally it just started to click. The defense was tired, like I said, and like I said, we practiced it so much that we can actually run the fastball effectively because we know exactly where we need to be and everything like that. So I think that's what it was.
For those people who don't understand the fastball and what goes into executing that, can you detail maybe some of the most
Yeah,
underlying
yeah,
principles?
yeah. It's just an up tempo offense. Like you're not huddling up after every play. Um, the receivers wherever they are after their previous route. So say if I'm on the right side and I have an over route, and fastball. I play the Z. If he calls double right, I'm supposed to be on the right side. But if I just ran an over route, I have to go and play the X. So everybody have to know different positions like that. But when we practice so much that we all know the different positions, so we could just after one play we could just line up and get on the ball real fast. And you have to be in a lot of shape for that. Defenses aren't always ready for it.
We were asking Mike, I think you were here for it, about the crooked score that tonight was. Defense has been playing at a high level, but you guys score the way you did on offense. You score on special teams. Does this show what this team can do when everyone's playing at that same type of level?
Yeah, I think this was a good representation of what we are if all 3 phases go out there and play good football. I think all 3 phases did that tonight. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but it was a good showing. I think.
Did you know before kickoff that y'all had clinched the NFC East title?
Yeah, I think everybody knew.
What did that mean, and what message did you send yourselves, if not everybody else, to still keep on the pedal like you did even after clinching?
I mean, obviously, winning the division, that's one of the first goals. So, obviously, we were happy about it because you celebrate all the wins in this league because you understand how tough it is to have success in this league. But at the same time, we understand that we want much more.
The celebration post-game, was it a lot different than that celebration, if that was the right word for it, when you guys found out you won, or you clinched the division pregame?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we knew before the game, but when you see the hats and shirts out there, it really sets in. So yeah, like I said, we were definitely happy about it. Yeah.
When y'all, I mean, we've asked y'all so many questions about like the one thing that's missing or you're not quite in rhythm or whatever it is. And I know y'all have the utmost confidence in yourselves, but when you're able to put it on tape like you did tonight, do you get relief out of that, or like what's the level of satisfaction just being able to show that you can do that again?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can always pick hairs. Like you can always pick hairs. There's always room for improvement. But when you can sit back and say, all 3 phases play good football, that's good. Obviously, you don't want to be good, you don't want to be great, you want to be the best at the end of the season, and so I think that's where our goals are.
Did you spend any extra time as receivers with Dak? Just it seemed like the rhythm and timing was just so fluid today. What was that the result of, do you feel?
Well, we do spend extra time with them, and we have over the course of the past 2 weeks, just because, like I said, we don't have that Wednesday practice anymore. We still practice, but it's more of a walkthrough. It's not a full speed thing. So we get extra reps with them full speed after practice Wednesday and Thursday. I can't quite say if it's the result of that, but I don't know.
It's a double-edged sword.
Last one, guys.
It's a double-edged sword in a sense. These lighter practices, you want to be fresher, but at the same time, you need a little bit more work sometimes.
No, it's not. That's why we get the extra reps after practice. It's not quite, a full practice, but we get what we feel like we really need, and what we feel like might be an issue, and we just get it out to practice that day, and we just tighten everything up.
CD, he had those 2 back-to-back catches in the first quarter, both tough grabs. He talked about wanting to get back to basics, wanted to get the drops past them and all that. How did you see him respond, not just maybe over the course of this week, but also tonight?
Yeah, I mean those were 2 great catches, but he always makes those great catches like that. His drops, and really most receivers' drops are kind of the result of the same thing. He's such an explosive player, so sometimes he's trying to visualize the moves he's going to make before he actually catches the ball, and this is really a simple fix, but it's I would say it's probably not easy, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't know, you want to score every time you catch the ball when you're an explosive player, but you got to catch it first. So, I mean, it's something that we all work on. So.
Trayvon had his 11th interception tonight. I'm not sure if you were watching the play when it happened, but if so, what do you see in terms of the way he's following the routes relative to how receivers are?
I think he has, great instincts. That would be, and from my point of view, his biggest attribute. Sure, he's fast. Sure, he has ball skills and stuff like that. But there's some other DBs who have ball skills who haven't caught 11 picks in the season. So he's real instinctive. I think I've mentioned this before, but me and him was standing by each other one time when the receivers and DBs were doing one-on-ones. We weren't competing that day, and before the receiver could finish the route, he'd call out the route, all the routes, and 9 times out of 10 he was right. So it's just instincts.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.